standing there hiding. There was about 50 school children around us. Some from Ubuhle and others, but mostly it was from our school, our lower LP. Because Ubuhle at the time, I think the gate was closed. They were just throwing through the bricks, the fence. Because the fence were those individual blocks. You could slip, those concrete blocks. So they were shooting, they were throwing, and police were shooting. So now, what happened? We were standing behind the complexes. Okay, head cars coming, screeching, and after that, they picked up those police. And then after that, from our direction, they came from the other direction, but they were going past our own direction, our direction now from the behind the mall. So now when they came, the first car went past. The first one went and the second one went past. Now when the third car came, I remember that man. I still remember him. I remember him. Even now, he can be put in an IT pirate. I can still point him. Those green. I had blue eyes, not green. They were blue, very bright blue. I remember that man. He looked at us. When he looked at us, he went inside the car. I think he went down and then he caught up with his rifle, which was a rifle, but I think it was an R5 because later on I had the police use R5 rifles. So when he saw us, he sprayed it in our direction. He sprayed a lot of bullets shooting in our direction. But at that time, I remember I just went unconscious. I went out. I think most a brick or something hit me on my head or a small chip from the wall. Yeah, but hitting my head. But I went out. I remember something hitting me and I went out. But when I got up, there was a boy. That boy, I don't remember his name. But I remember him. I remember him when he was dying. Because that is the only time now when I picture him, when I try to remember him, when I picture him, I see him. But that boy, he was very short and he was small in stature. So me growing up, I was very tall. And growing up, like I never liked bullies. I was never a bully in my life. I never bully people. I always believe in free will. I always believe that your space is your space, my space is my space. You see. So I'm not a person who, because now God blessed me when I was young. I was very tall. I was tall. And then I had a huge stature. I was built, you see. In our assemblies, even in primary schools, higher primary, I always stood a head taller than most of the students. Yes, most of the students in the assembly. So now, I always had boys that were small in stature, boys that were bullied, and they always
were attracted to you.
Yeah, they were always attracted. They always moved in my vicinity. Yes. So now, okay, it was a privilege sometimes for me because you see, I remember that this one year from Tunokwe, he used to carry 10 cents. That was big money at that time. It was big money. So we used to buy, when we went to shops, they buy Amakuinya, they buy Opolo, and I used to have my share because we always move around with them, you see. I always protected. That was who I am even now. That's why, like, as you see so much cars in my body, I have over 300 scars in my body. And I'm not a person who's afraid of scars, of my scars. I don't even like, many people, they ask me why I even don't put a false teeth. I'll never put a false teeth. First thing, I look like my father. You see, second thing, if you can ask me how I lose my teeth, yes, you see, I'm proud of how I lost my teeth. You see, I'm not something that I'm ashamed. You see, I'm proud because I was defending a guy that I've never even saw in my life. I saw him only for that 5 minutes. But I fought for him. I lost both of my tooth. I fought with over 26 people, you see. So that was in prison now. Yeah. But now going back now to that day. So that boy, I remember was when the shooting started, we came out together, me and him. We ran through the porch. But when we came to the complexes now, he was reluctant, he was afraid. He wanted to go back. I grabbed his hand. I ran with him across because now the police were on the right and the students were on opposite, on the opposite end. They were throwing stones, you see. So now